Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to draft a simple pattern to make this beautiful halter neck waistcoat. And this video is very detailed, very easy to follow, and very beginners friendly. If this is something you're interested in, make sure to keep watching and make sure you watch till the end so that you don't miss out on any detail. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. So we'll be drafting this top on the pattern paper. So I have my pattern paper here and it is not in a fold of two, as you can see. It's a single paper, but when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to fold the fabric into two. So on this pattern paper, I took out 6 inches on the upper part before I marked the shoulder line. And towards the center front as well, I have 6 inches. So we're going to be drafting it on this box, this smaller box on the inside. And this first line I have here is going to serve as my shoulder line. So the full length of this top is 21 inches. So I have some extra there. I'm going to just cut it out. So I'll come over to the shoulder line now and place my shoulder measurements divided by 2. So from that center front line, I put my shoulder measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches. And I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So after that, the next thing is to mark the neckline. So from that center front line again, I'm going to work with 3.5 inches for the wideness of the neckline. So I'll be marking both the front and the back neckline. So we're needing the back neckline because of the collar that will go around the neck. So the back neckline, the depth, I'll be using 1 inch, and for the front neckline, I'll be using 3.5 inches. So I'll take my ruler now and connect the front and the back neckline. So after connecting, this is what we have. So from the neckline width, I'm going to extend it all the way to that 1 inch to create the shoulder slope. So the next thing we want to do is to mark the armhole line. So from this 1 inch shoulder slope, I'm going to come down by my round armhole measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I'm going to mark it there, and then I'll connect the points together using my ruler. And then I'll further extend the line all the way to the side to create the chest line. So after that, let's go ahead to mark the remaining vertical measurements we need. So I'll place my tape rule on the shoulder line and come down to my nipple points, which is 11 inches, my bust line. After that, I'll come down to my under bust, which is 13.5 inches. The next one is from my shoulder to my half length, which is 16 inches, and then the full length of this top, which is 21 inches. Go ahead to mark your own appropriate measurement and extend the lines this way. So after extending the lines, let's go ahead to label them to avoid confusion. That is the chest line, this is the bust line, this is the under bust, the half length, and the full length of the. So after labeling, the next thing we want to do is to place the dart. So from the center front, I'm going to mark my dart line. So to get your dart line, divide your nipple to nipple measurements by 2. So mine is 4 inches, and I'm going to mark 4 inches on all the lines starting from the center front, and then I'll connect the points together with my ruler. After that, I'll come over to this shoulder area and get the midpoint of this line. So for mine is 2.5 inches, and I'll just go ahead to extend the line all the way to meet the dart line. So I'll come over to the under bust line and take 1 inch on both sides. A smaller size can just do half an inch on both sides. So I'll mark that same 1 inch on the half length line and then connect the points together. So after connecting, I'll go ahead to just blend it in to the dart line this way, just before the full length of my top. So after that, I'll come over to this bust line and come down by half of an inch. You can do 1 inch if you're on the bigger side. And then I'll go ahead to use the curved part of my ruler to just curve it out this way. So after creating the dart, this is what we have. Let's go ahead to place the body measurements. So on the bust line, I'll place my round bust measurements divided by 4, my bust circumference divided by 4, which is 10.5 inches, and I'll add 1 inch for seam allowance, making 11.5 inches. So my underbust circumference and my waist circumference is the same thing. So I'm going to just mark it directly on the half length line. So on this half length line, I'll mark my round waist measurements divided by 4, which is 8.5 inches. I'll add the 2 inches that and 1 inch for seam allowance, making 11.5. I'll go ahead to mark it. And on the full length of my top, I'm going to place my round hip measurements divided by 4 and add 1 inch for seam allowance. So go ahead to use your own appropriate measurement and then connect all the points together all the way to the chest line. So I'll connect from the bust line to the chest line and also down to this half length line. So it's giving me a straight line there. So whatever shape yours brings out, go ahead to just connect it that way. And then I'll connect all the way to the hip line. So the next thing we want to do is to work on the collar part of this jacket. So before I mark the collar, I'm going to determine where I want my flap to stop. So I want the flap to stop at my chest line. So if you want yours opened on the front area, you can come down to as low as your bust point or even below your bust point. So for mine, I'm going to do the same 9 inches from the shoulder line. I'll mark 9 inches. That's where my collar is going to stop, the collar flap. So from that 9 inches I marked, I'm going to take 1 inch all the way down. This is going to serve as the overlap for the button allowance, and then I'll connect all the points together this way. So after marking the button allowance, I'll take my ruler and connect that point all the way to meet the neckline this way, forming a slanted line. So after that, I'll go ahead to measure what I have on the back neckline. So this is the reason why we had to mark out this back neckline on the front. So I'll measure what I have. Just go ahead to curve out your ruler, your tape rule. So for mine, I have 4 inches and I'm going to extend from the shoulder line by that same 4 inches. So follow the shape of the line this way, forming a slant, and extend it by whatever you have on the back neckline. So for mine, I'll extend it by 4 inches and then take my ruler to just connect the points together this way. So I'll extend the line up this way, forming a slant. And then after that, I'll just confirm if I have the same 4 inches there. So on this side, I'll come out by half of an inch. So by doing this, it is going to help your collar relax very well around your neck. So I'll discard the old line now. So the next thing to do is to determine how wide you want the collar to be. For mine, I'll be making use of 4 inches. And I'm still going to slant my tape rule this way. As you can see, I'll slant it by this way and mark 4 inches from that new line. So if you don't want yours as wide as mine, you can do 3 inches, and then I'll connect the points together. So after doing that, the next is to determine how wide you want this flap to be. So I'm going to just extend that by 2.5 inches. I'm going to extend that front neckline by 2.5 inches. You can do 3 inches depending on what you want, and you can also do 2 inches. So I'll take my ruler and connect the points together this way. Just go ahead to extend it this way. So after extending the flap, I'm going to connect it all the way to meet this button allowance. Just follow what you're seeing in the video. So after that, the next thing is to come over to this point. So from this initial line I marked, the center front, I'm going to take 1.5 inches, or you can just get the midpoint of that line. But for mine, I just came in by 1.5 inches. And from that new point I marked, I'll go up again by 1 inch, forming a slant this way. So after coming up by 1 inch, I'll take my ruler and connect it together. You can see it is creating a kind of angle. It's not a straight line, it is slanted. After that, I'll go ahead to then connect this point all the way up. Just use the slightly curved part of your ruler to do this. And then I'll connect it all the way up this way. After doing that, you should have something that looks like this. So I'll come over to the base of my top now and just give it a slight shape by the side. So you can decide to leave yours straight, just depends on what you want. So I'll come up here by 1.5 inches from the side, and then I'll go ahead to just slant it in this way. So I'll go ahead to discard the older line. So the last and final thing to do before we cut it out is to create the halter neck effect. So I'm going to take my armhole curve, and then from the neck width, the wideness of the neckline, I'm going to use the curved ruler to just connect it all the way to meet the chest line this way. This is going to create the halter neck design. So after connecting, this is what we have. So the next thing we want to do now is to cut it out. So watch closely how I'm going to be separating this pattern. I'll go ahead to cut out the new armhole. So this is the new armhole. So I'll go ahead now to separate this piece from it and then cut the center front. So watch how I'm going to separate the collar from each other now. So I have separated the collars from each other. So I'll go ahead to cut out the upper part. So take your time to watch this cutting part so that you don't miss any detail. So after that, this is what it looks like. So when you are done, your collar is going to appear this way in front. So before I open it up, I'm going to be placing a dart on this armhole area to prevent any form of gaping. I'm going to take 0.5 inches on both sides of the line and just connect it in. I'll just blend it into the line this way. So we're going to be opening up this that area. So I'll go ahead now to open up the that point. So after opening up, you realize that this side is shorter than the center front. So I'm going to remove 1 inch from this point. I'll just go ahead to remove 1 inch from it and then just cut it out. So if peradventure after joining you still realize that one is longer than the other, you can just go ahead to trim out any excess that you have. I hope you guys understand. But from the pattern you can see that it is already equal after we took out 1 inch from it. So this is basically all on how to draft out the front part of this jacket. So let's go ahead to work on the back panel. So for the back panel, I have my pattern paper here and I went ahead to mark the basic vertical measurements I will need. The first line you are seeing here is the shoulder line. So the next line is from my shoulder to my chest line, which is 9 inches, to my bust line, which is 11 inches, to my half length, 16 inches, and the full length of my top, which is 21 inches. So remember that this back panel is going to be an open back. So I'm going to be discarding from the shoulder line down to the chest line. So I just marked everything out so that you guys can understand how I came about the lines. So I'm going to be cutting out this upper part. I'll just leave half an inch allowance at the upper part. So this is what we have. Let's go ahead to label the lines. This is the bust line, this is the half length, and this is the full length. So the next thing to do is to place the dart. So from the center back, I'm going to come in by the same 4 inches I used for the front panel. I'll mark 4 inches on all the lines all the way down this way and then connect the points together. So I'll come over to this half length line and take half of an inch on both sides, and then I'll use my ruler to blend it in this way. I'll also repeat the same thing all the way up because I'm going to open up this part. So after connecting the dots, this is what we have. Next is to place the round body measurement. So on the bust line, I'll place the round bust measurements divided by 4. I'll add a half an inch for that and 1 inch for seam allowance. So go ahead to mark your own appropriate measurement, and on the half length line I'll mark my round waist measurements divided by 4, add the dart of 1 inch and 1 inch for seam allowance, and on the other line I marked my round hip measurement divided by 4 and I added 1 inch for seam allowance. So go ahead to connect all the points after marking your measurement. So after that, I'll take out the 1.5 inches I took out while I was drafting out the front panel so that it's going to be exactly the same thing. So after doing that, the next thing now is to cut it out. So I'll go ahead to split the dart areas opened. Go ahead to open it up. So after opening up, this is what we have. So you're going to close it up on your fabric where you cut it out. So I'm going to cut this on a fold. This is the center back and to be cut on a fold, not two pieces. And for this is the side back, and I'll cut two pieces of this. Let me just go ahead to write fold it two to cut this. So this is basically all for the back part of this jacket. So successfully cut out both the front and the back part of this shirt, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to use this now to cut on my fabric. I'll be showing you guys how to do that. So let's go ahead to cut out on the fabric. So I'm going to start by cutting out my lining. So I'm using the same fabric as my lining because of the collar, and I went ahead to iron my stay to the wrong side of this fabric. So I'll be folding this fabric into two, and then I'll place my patterns on it and cut it out. I'll definitely carry you guys along to show you guys how to cut it. So fold the fabric into two, and then use your pin to just hold your patterns down to it before you cut it out. So I've gone ahead to pin my patterns to my fabric, and I did it randomly in a way that the fabric can take all the patterns. So you're supposed to cut this part in a fold, but I just put it here. I'll add half an inch and then join the two fabrics together. I hope you guys understand. If you have enough space, you can just cut that part on a fold. So I'll be adding half an inch on all the dart areas for joining. And then for the sides, I don't need to add any allowance to the sides because I already added seam allowance to it. So this is the dart joining area. I'll just go ahead to add half an inch to it and cut it out. For the base, I'll also add half an inch to it for turning over with the lining. So make sure to add half an inch to all the dart areas for joining allowance. So for this center front, I'm also going to add half an inch because of turning over with the lining. So for this collar, like I said, this upper part is supposed to be in a fold, but since I don't have enough fabric, I'm going to just join the two pieces together. But if you have enough, make sure to cut that upper part on a fold. So add half an inch around all around it for turning over. So after cutting out, this is what we have for both the front and the back panels. So I'll use these lining pieces to cut out the main fabric, and then I'll show you guys how to join it together. So in my next video, I'll show you guys how to join the fabrics together to create that beautiful top. So this is what we end this video for today. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to put on your post notification so that when I upload the second part, you'll be notified. So give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and also subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.